All right.
So, okay, we're in a minute already, and we talking bullshit.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the That Slate show.
Hey, for people on Spotify right now, go, how do you say this? Give it 5 stars.
Yeah.
Or however stars you like. But 5 is a good number, I think.
And share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Family.
Because
loved ones.
If people...
Tinder dates. Everyone needs to be listening to that show.
Yeah, it's for everyone.
For everyone.
Everybody wants to know how good the Alexa 35 is. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but it really helps us getting discovered on Spotify if it's reviewed or, people rate it.
And thank you to everyone who bared with us and stayed with us for the last few weeks. It's been really fun, a fun podcast to make, and it's always.
And
really
funnily
nice.
enough, there's more people on YouTube, which I really didn't expect.
Watching.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's much more on YouTube than on Spotify.
It's
I didn't
free.
expect that. Yeah, but most people have Spotify anyway, I assume. Or one of them. Or Amazon Podcasts.
What's up, Jeff? No. So today's episode is a little different because we talk a lot about filmmaking gear stuff, processes and stuff like this. But today we're going to talk about something that is a little similar, but some kind of different as well. We're going to talk about photography and how it helps us evolving as filmmakers and cinematographers. I personally don't do a lot of photo gigs. I do mostly video.
Yeah.
But I still do a few corporate portrait shots and a little bit of architectural work for some of our clients. But other than that, not that much. I did a few product shots as well. I really like doing that. It's just that I don't know. I just like video more, and people don't seem to be contacting me for photo.
I still do photography.
That's what I was going to. You are full on video and photo.
Yeah. But I do more video work. It's in the end, it's mostly even 70-30. So 70% is film and 30 is photo.
And what kind of work do you do in photo?
Mostly commercial, corporate, and product.
Okay.
And brands, yeah.
Okay.
But not as big of my video productions are much bigger than the photo productions. Because I set the focus there and I can tell.
Yeah.
And people can tell.
It's funny because I don't know if you feel like this as well, but when you go on shoots for making videos like filmmaking, you always have so much gear. You almost have your trunk full of C-stands, lights, sliders, whatever. But whenever I go on a photo shoot, I'm like, is that it?
I must be forgetting something.
I must be forgetting something because I think you shoot with the same flashes. I think we're gonna mix everything, gear, stuff, everything.
Yeah, it's all about photography.
You shoot. I think you also have the AD200s, the Godox.
Yeah, but I don't use them.
You don't use
much.
them?
No, I have bigger ones now. The AD200s.
Yeah, that's why.
What did you say?
I just said AD200.
Oh shit. No, I have an even smaller one that I can put on the camera.
Oh yeah.
But I don't use it as much anymore.
The 200s are great.
Yeah, 8200 is perfect for what I do.
The size is really good. They're
very portable.
Very portable.
Good battery life.
Excellent battery life. I was actually, that's insane. I think they advertised for 500 shots full blast.
Shit. So what we're talking about is the Godox AD200, which is a portable flash.
Yeah.
You can put flash and bulb. What do you call the other one? You can put a bulb in front of it, and you can put a regular kind of
almost look like an on-camera flash.
Yeah.
And they're 200 watt, and they're really powerful. Not really powerful, but they're powerful enough for the stuff we do. I think it's really good for product photography if you don't need a really strong flash, and also for portraits.
Portraits still enough.
Yeah.
If you want a bigger wide shot, then they might still be good enough, but I've been on shoots where I had a wide shot of a person in a studio, really wide, and it wasn't enough anymore. And I was glad I could use the
that might be interesting for you because I have this adapter. You basically take the head of the flash.
Yeah.
You stick it in the back, and you can put 2 in the back and stick the 2 bulbs in the front. So you basically have a 400.
You put 200s in one softbox or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that.
So that's pretty useful, and I've been using that a lot for portraits in outdoor portraits. when you just need, just to feel a little bit of light if you have enough light.
I started just when I do studio, I started just using like renting a studio and using all their stuff because it's already set up there. You don't have to open any softbox and nothing, and all the flashes are plugged in. You just need to put the sender on your camera, and it's ready to go. And so I stopped really investing into like lights for photography.
Yeah.
And also I know a lot of good photographers. They use like video lights, a lot of apertures.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I've seen a lot of people are starting to shoot like with continuous lights. I just think they're not powerful enough when you want to freeze the subject for like really fast motion stuff. Like if you have like I don't know, like the typical example would be like a dancer, like jumping,
Yeah, exactly.
and you want to freeze that person up in the air. It's not going to be powerful enough.
You're losing some of the creative things you can do with flash, but a lot of things like portrait and products, a lot of people are just using standard light.
We shot a campaign for I don't even know, what do you call it? It's like an organization in where I'm from that do like social stuff abroad. We shot a video campaign, and the concept behind it that we had an exhibit with like posters, and people would scan the posters and the video would launch. Yeah. So every time after each scene, we needed to shoot a portrait of like the actor, and we just use continuous light, and it's like perfect. It's like more than enough. If you don't have a lot of motion, that's like this.
And also a lot of big photo shoots that I've seen, they all use continuous lighting. Yeah. Like big HMIs and 12x12 diffusers.
Again, if you want, because I think this is a trend that's coming more and more, is getting this. I'm gonna say cinematic, even though I don't really like that word that much, but they want to get that cinematic look out of pictures, and of course, like starting to light. Easiest way just to light the way. Yeah, the same way, and then. But
true.
If you don't have too much, like even if you have a little bit of motion blur, it's not that bad, I guess, for photo. If you really want to go the cinematic route, if like you have the car is a little bit blurry or stuff like this, I think that works depending on the project. But talking about, you're confused.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused.
Because
what do you mean?
If you want to get the really cinematic image, not everything needs to be really sharp, in my opinion. Right. So sometimes if you have a little bit of motion blur, it goes to like the lack of power.
It helps to get the cinematic look, right? Oh, I thought you were saying the other thing. It's not bad. It's not the best, but it shouldn't be. Okay, we're on the same page.
Maybe I didn't say that.
I think a lot of them just do it digitally. They just add some blur, to the parts that are not that important.
But last thing about gear, like I think Godox, they have the FV150, which is a continuous light, which is 150 watts. But you can also switch to flash.
Yes.
Did you see that one?
It's actually a 200, I think. It's not the 150. Okay. It's a 200 that you can switch. Yeah. I was going to buy this for a while. Yeah. And then I stopped investing into photo stuff because I was like, I'm just going to use the ones from the studios. From the studio. But yeah, that's a really cool thing.
That's nice, I guess. But I've seen reviews, and I think this is the same thing. If you want to freeze really high pace, like high speed stuff, it's not gonna be powerful enough. You need like really high, like really powerful flashes.
But how often do you do that? That's the question.
I don't, but like it depends, like the kind of stuff you shoot.
Absolutely.
But talking about this, I just wanted to maybe relate the photography topic to filmmaking. And do you think like being a photographer or even doing photography on the side in your personal work and stuff like this actually helps your cinematography?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think what is really cool is you freeze that one image and you look at it much longer than if you take a one take in a video. It just goes by so quick. It can be 5 seconds, whatever, and you stop looking at it. And on a photo, you keep like every time you pull it up, you kind of see more things that that you see, that you like, that you don't like, that you do different. Yeah. So it really helps freeze that one thing. Of course, cinematography is all about moving images, but just talking about looks and things you like, I think it really helps.
Yeah, 100%.
What about you?
I love it. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly the way I approach photography. As I said, I don't do photography as much. I have maybe like, I don't know, 10 gigs a year, like, maybe once a month, or not even, for photography. But I do shoot a lot of photos for my personal work because I just like the medium, and I just like to work on my composition and stuff like this. And I 100% agree with you. I think it just helps seeing a scene and just like being able to be like nimble and like walk around, like try to find the best angles. If we want to talk about gear, I have gear here. This is I don't know if you guys can see on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a beauty. This is the Fujifilm X100V. I've been raving about this a lot, and Phil
is a big hype about that camera.
There's a massive hype, and it's out of stock everywhere. When I got it on,
I think you have to like put it up a bit higher so we can see it on that angle. Yeah, there you go.
This is the beauty. Shit. Door was open. It comes in like silver and black and black, but as you know, your boy is getting all black.
All
and everything. Black. But no, this camera has actually helped my cinematography a lot more than like any other photo cameras. Because
how so?
Fixed focal length, 35mm equivalent. This is basically like your standard like go-to kind of lens.
Why does that help you? Because
like, it's so small. I have it everywhere.
Quickly, first thing people would be like, okay, it's got a fixed lens.
Yeah,
that's shit. I can't even change the focal length.
Oh yeah. Oh,
why does it help you?
This is a huge debate and like zooms versus primes. Both systems.
Yeah, but this is not like for people. You cannot change the lens.
It's not interchangeable. It's fixed.
So the camera can only shoot 35mm. That's it.
It's a 23mm on an APS-C sensor, so it's 35-ish. Right. So what I love about it is it removes the options of having options, because I think as like cinematographers we tend to like overthink, and we're like, okay, we go on this trip in Italy, so maybe I need a 50, maybe I need maybe a 100 because we're gonna do some hiking, but maybe 50 is too tight in cities, so should I bring a 24?
Yeah, but then what if I want to get a close-up from somewhere?
Yeah.
And then maybe 85 as well.
Yeah, exactly. So this is how I function, and this camera, just like I pick it up, I don't think about anything else but like the shot, and this is really cool. And the fixed focal length, I love shooting primes. I shoot mostly primes for video, anyways.
Right.
So, and I like the fact that I can just move around. It's really small. It's really pocketable. You can put it in your pocket if you have big pockets.
For me, it's the most important thing is you think more about your focal length.
Yeah.
You think more about what's the actual frame I want to get. Yeah. Otherwise, with a zoom or
you can
change, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll leave this here. So yeah, this camera basically has allowed me to, you can, Phil is actually trying to get his hands on one.
Don't say that. I am though.
This camera is so small, and I've been carrying it around with me everywhere. I kind of like named it my dad cam because I shoot my kids a lot with it. My kids, I have one, but I have.
She ask how many?
She runs so fast, like I can see double. But no,
she's worked for two.
But I just love it. And to circle back to what we were saying about composition and stuff, having a fixed focal length and having this with you all the time, you just increase the volume of time you actually shooting stuff. Because if you only have like a 1DX with like a 24-70, then you're not gonna carry this around with you.
Yeah.
But obviously you also have your phone. Your phone is with you all the time. And
do you actually take photos with your phone? Like, does that make you creative and like take creative photos?
Not creative necessarily, but I shoot a lot of my phone.
Something that you really like?
I like my phone because it's always on me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes this is in my backpack for some reasons, or in my fanny pack, and then the phone is always in my pocket, so I just take it out and like take quick snippets and like
I see
moments. But it's never. I know people do that, but I never really compose the shot as I would with this or like a cinema camera.
Because that's what it is for me. I've never, and I would argue maybe like a few times, but never really taken photos with my phone that I think about and that I really want to do creatively.
Yeah.
I've only snapshots that with friends or whatever when something funny happens or I really want to take this shot of, but never like a photo that I say like, I want to keep this as a like, I don't know, a creative work of mine.
I completely understand.
Never do that.
I completely understand. I know a lot of people that take bangers on phones.
Absolutely.
And this is definitely feasible. I just like to have this medium with me. I don't know, maybe it's a luxury. It's most definitely a luxury.
It is a luxury.
Definitely. 100%. But I had the means to get it, and I just really love it. Photography in general, for cinematography, I think it just helps a lot. I think a lot of cinematographers are doing a lot of photo work on the side as well, not necessarily professionally, but just like, you take this on a location scout, for instance, you can snap a couple pictures. It can give you like already like an idea of how you would frame, which focal length. You're like, okay, 35 might be a little too tight, a little too wide, so you might want to go 50 or 24, whatever. And it just helps you get in the process of filmmaking as well.
Honestly, for location scout, I actually like to have a zoom lens.
Yeah, because you can
just
change
so I
the.
can see all or I have a really good app, Cadrage.
Yeah,
you have it as well.
This one is good.
Really good because you can put in the camera you use and it knows the sensor size and it knows what in what modes what crops are happening on the camera, and then you can tell which camera, like you can tell the app which lenses you're gonna use.
The best.
And it shows you in one frame. I know but I'm just saying for people, it shows you in the frame in the phone. If you take the picture or if you hold your phone towards like the subject or the building, whatever, it shows you like all the frame sizes that you would have with different lenses, which is super usable. You know exactly, a 20 mil is enough for this room to show the subject the way I want to.
So
or
helpful.
If I want the eye, I need from this distance, I need an 85 and whatever. Super helpful. So either for me, Location Scout, I don't even need a camera necessarily.
Definitely you don't need a camera, that's for sure. I just take this one with me because I don't know, it gets me in the creative mood process a little bit more than just like using cadrage or stuff like this.
Same. It really helps me just get into a different mode, just like you mentioned. It's just as soon as I grab a camera, I'm taking photos differently than I would with the phone. With the phone, I just click around. I don't even think, like you said, I don't even think about framing, which is not really important, but it helps just getting you like, sometimes it gets you ideas, even on a tech scout, location scout.
And I don't know if you've noticed this. Sorry, I'm too far from the mic. I don't know if you noticed it, but people who do photographers, and cinematographers that do cinematography first, they tend to frame differently.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed it.
No.
I don't know if it's just in my head, but photography, you have a lot more low angle shots, try to play with the distortion of the lens. You have the possibility to go landscape or portrait. So you frame kind of differently. Whereas cinematography, most of the time you're more like eye level, like waist level. You don't have as much tilt.
Kind of more correct.
It's more like seeing how someone would see the scene. And photographers, I feel like are more like trying to showcase an angle of view or point of view that's like kind of like unseen or unheard of. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
And this is something
I don't think I've ever thought about it or even saw that.
Because like I've realized, like you look at all the really trendy photo like trends on Instagram and stuff, like have a lot of like low angles, vertical distortion, lots of lens distortion and stuff. And like cinematography, you don't have that much of this. You have like Dutch angles, it's kind of crooked, or you have like
yeah, but I would argue it's kind of coming behind. I think a lot of like, because what's in, it's also like wide angles close to faces. That's like a thing that's really popular at the moment. And also low angles like stuff, or high angles like top shots of people like looking up. I think it's kind of like coming like after the photography. So what's in photography comes later in some
maybe. I just feel like it's like really different. But you're maybe right.
But I know what you mean. 100%.
Because when you look at like maybe a cinematographer on set trying to figure out the angle, like of course you can do whatever you want as long as it looks good and fits the story, whatever. But if you look at someone, the position that person is gonna take is completely different than a photographer.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know, it's just like, it's funny.
I think I know, or my idea why this is in photography, your shot, that one angle, it's the only thing that's going to be in this picture. Yeah. So you are the main you are the main creative in this. There's nothing else that's going on. Only one picture. And in film, there's much more going in than just the image.
Yeah.
There is the acting, there is the movement, there is the audio, there is, and it's much more than just one thing that is deciding the mood and the perception of this image. There's much more going in. So sometimes it can be too much, like trying to be the wildest thing with the camera, because there's much more going on than just what the camera sees.
100%. I never thought about it that way, but you're right. You're very right.
I think that's the reason why it's not always as wild and as I don't know, intriguing is the wrong word, but you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's more like conservative sort of.
It's one actor in the whole thing, and not.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In photography, there's only one.
Yeah.
And in film, it's only one part of like 5 or whatever.
Now, if we keep talking about photography, a lot of people are going back. I mean, it can maybe kind of slow down now because of the prices of the rolls and everything, but to analog and digital analog photography and film photography, 35mm or 120. I've experienced with it a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of it just because of the process. That it's just too much of a pain. Yeah, I understand that, like,
it's too much work. I mean,
kind of too much work, and I understand why people are drawn towards this. Mm-hmm. The process can be cool. Slow down. Really, how you have like 32. I don't even know how many shots are on the roll, but
like 32 or 36, I think.
Yeah, 32.
Depends on the roll.
Or 36 pictures. You have to make the most out of it. You can't review them. You have to wait. You have this, maybe 2 days of waiting.
That's what you don't like about it?
No, I understand why this is interesting, because it's part of like this whole slowing down thing. It's
a whole nother process.
Yeah, but I just feel like the process is just too annoying for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like nowadays the film look is really nice. Like, you can give a film camera to someone, as long as they focus right, it's probably gonna look right. And nice. But I feel like nowadays, with the technology that we have with cameras like the Fujis or the Sonys and everything, you can basically do whatever you want to do with the image in post-production. So I think like the process, the digital process, to me is like a more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I know that you have experienced a little bit more with 35mm photography.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to get
Well, actually,
into that.
recently, I only started like a year or 1.5 ago.
Yeah.
Just because my uncle actually gave me, like, he was moving, and he found like an old 35mm camera like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, he knew I was into photography and film and everything, and I worked in that. And he was like, hey, I found something, like, maybe it's cool. And I just bought a film, tried it out.
Yeah.
And it took me like 2 months to get it developed, just because I never brought it there. And I was like, And it was so cool getting the images back, and I had no idea what I shot. I did not know one single shot that I took.
Did you forget?
Of course.
Yeah, because like you two. How long did it take you to actually go through the roll?
2 months. Like that even took like a month.
Yeah.
And then it took 2 months to bring it. So 3 months after I shot.
Yeah.
The first picture, I got it back, and I had no idea what I shot.
Yeah.
And it was so cool just seeing some things that I had in mind then, and then getting it back, and you're so surprised. Oh shit, this shot is so cool. And maybe back then you didn't think it was going to be a cool shot.
Yeah.
But then with everything happening in 35 that you cannot adjust, that you cannot decide and change.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's living. It's going to be different every time you take it.
Yeah.
It was so cool, and that's how I use it these days. I just use it as personal. I don't do any work with it because I'm not good enough, honestly, as well.
Yeah.
I don't know enough. And yeah, my camera is also, it has a light leak, unfortunately.
Oh, so you get a lot of...
So I got a lot of like light streaks, colorful light streaks. Some I hate, some like, I got one picture of my grandma the other day on my last roll, and it's super nice because it's a portrait of her, kind of wide. It's a 35mm, I think, like kind of American framed, and there's like this one light leak green on top of her, like over her head, and this tiny pink one on the bottom, and her face is perfectly like no leaking.
Nice.
Super nice. But that's one in like 5-7 rolls that are like perfect.
Yeah.
That's other ones, they have a streak right in their face and you cannot see their face, so it's like So that's what I like.
Yeah.
I really
understand.
like having this and not knowing what you shot and getting them back. And it's like a surprise. It's like a present each time. Like, oh, wow, look at this. And you can send it to your friends and they're like, oh, I already forgot we shot this.
Yeah, I still have a roll in the camera I used to use. I think it still has maybe like 5 exposures on it, and I have no idea what's on it. So I'm actually thinking about like getting it and like have it developed, because this is stuff that I shot in 2019, I think.
That's dope.
So it's probably
ancient already.
Yeah. It's probably black and white, and now
people wore weird stuff back then.
Yeah. No, but I'm actually, now that we're talking about it, I'm actually thinking about developing it, because there's probably like some gems in it as well. Definitely. Maybe it's all black because like the mirror was stuck, but I don't know.
But yeah, this camera that you mentioned, it kind of gives me the same. I haven't used it, but I already know I'm gonna love it, so I'm probably gonna buy it in the next few weeks, months.
Yeah.
And
take a picture of Phil. I'm gonna post it up.
It gives me the same feeling as analog photography, because the fixed lens, the small camera. What else? The
film simulations.
Yeah, it has film simulations. So a lot of people use the camera for shooting it and then not doing any post processing on it. Just using it straight up. And I think that's the beauty of it. That's the same with analog. I don't ever touch my analog photos, only if they're like super dark and you cannot use them.
For the people on YouTube, I'm gonna snap pictures of Phil now.
That's Spotify, you mean, right?
Oh yeah. I just
people are on YouTube are already
on you what?
On slap that plate. People on YouTube are already annoyed. Like, bro, put the fucking camera down and keep talking.
Dude, this looks really good.
They keep taking photos.
Oh no, you have your eyes closed. Keep your eyes open, please.
Do you have one with the eyes open?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
That's
so cool.
Built in camera.
Yeah. So you could send this to my phone right now and it'll be like, that's it. You got the picture.
Yeah.
And I think it's because for me, it's a lot of times like if I use it for personal work or
you don't want to edit. You don't want to put it in Lightroom. You don't want to
take the SD card out, sit on your desk, and then put it in, import it to Lightroom, edit, export. It feels like work. Honestly, that's work. I thought we talked about this today.
We talked about this episode. In the previous episode, we talked about it. Yeah.
Did we? Okay.
No, last episode, but the previous episode.
Oh, okay. Like
last week's episode. Last week's episode.
A week ago. I forgot what was a week ago, bro. I don't even.
Sorry.
No, but it feels like work then, and the enjoyment of it just goes down drastically.
Yeah, for sure.
To me, and that's one down part, I guess, like we mentioned before, of making this your work, because it's
what did you start with first, photography or film? Photo.
Yes, photo. Yeah, definitely. Well, actually, I took some photos when I was in the US, when I was living there for a year and a half.
Playing linebacker, badass Phil.
Actually, I was playing linebacker and kicker, yeah. Anyway, I started there, but just as like a lot of people are like, I'm traveling, I want to take some pictures. Sure. I had no intention of doing like, I don't know, photography. To me, that's just taking pictures. That's two different things. And then actually, when I finished high school for my Matura work, like the high school diploma, we had to do work, kind of like a bachelor's work, just smaller. And I was like into film, but I never filmed anything myself. And that's when I did. I said that in the initial.
So if you want to hear
episode 2, I think it is.
Episode 2. Yeah, episode 2.
I think you were 1. I was 2.
Yeah, episode 2.
So if you want to hear the story, it's right there.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I did my first documentary, and that's when I really got into film. So actually, I want to say I started with film, because that's when I seriously got into it.
Yeah.
Photo, I was never really, I want to do photography.
That was maybe the introduction to this whole thing. Maybe if you didn't start to use a camera and like start framing, maybe you would have never ended up like.
Because I enjoyed it, but I never was like, I'm doing photography. I want to do this. I want to take this picture. I was just snapping things from memories.
Yeah.
So I think it's two different things. So I would argue I'd started with film. Did you start with
film?
With video?
Film, video, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Episode 1, everybody.
Episode 1, everybody.
Go and listen to
links
Romain's
up there.
story.
No, I'm not gonna link anything. Too much work. Too much work. All right, so that was a fun episode. Quickly talking about something kind of different, kind of similar to what we used to talk. And
and this is not sponsored at all.
This is not sponsored by Fuji.
Fanboy Romain.
Fujifilm, you're gonna be tagged in this episode and in all the reels. Sure. So if you want to sponsor the show, we'll be more than happy to get a couple GFX.
We know Romain has one, but I don't have one yet.
Oh, Phil doesn't have an X100V.
So if you have a black one laying around, I mean, I won't say no.
Phil is nice, huh?
Yeah, I'll do some posts.
He'll do some product photography. All right, guys. See you next week.
Yeah. See you in a week. Monday, everybody. Bye.